The Timex Global Trainer looks fairly innocuous in its box, roughly the size of the device itself, and with a good summary of its functions on the back, including the all-important GPS-based features and newfangled ones like a hands-free stopwatch and PC setting of the watch. This alone implies a learning curve. We will look at these in a moment. Compared with my other main training device, the Polar RS800, the latter appears to have more to offer, at least in the box. In addition to the running computer, as described in the manual, we have not one but two CDs with software and a full manual and PDF, heart rate belt, infrared adapter and USB cable for data transfer, and a quick start manual. The Polar Pro Trainer 5 software is a valuable addition, enabling both online analysis through a free web account as well as on a PC. It has to be said also that the RS800 accessories, which are essential to measuring speed and distance, including a GPS unit or foot pod, are optional and add further to the expense and complexity of using that particular device. The Global Trainer box looks almost spartan in comparison with the watch. USB clip can't really be called a cradle for synchronization and recharging. Heart rate belt, AC charger and a simple bike handlebar mount. The comparisons with the competition are evident from the first off, with the most prominent feature as the size. As of this review, December 2010, this has most definitely been an issue, but I suspect most reviewers have not worn the device on runs. The size issue affects all watches of this demographic, meaning premium training devices containing integral functionality, such as the Garmin Forerunner 305, which is so big that it needs to have an angled case to fit round the wrist. To quote from Timex.com's own collection of reviews about the Timex Global Trainer, quote, "I was hesitant about the size of the watch. I'm a very small-framed woman, but it is actually very comfortable. I love the fact that the screen is large enough to read just by glancing down." The Timex Global Trainer, as with some of the other competition here, is completely flat on the back, so it's very, very wearable for all types of runners and athletes. As you can see here with the venerable watch reviewer DC Rainmaker, he's tested this on his girlfriend, and even though she's a small-framed woman just like the woman on the Timex page, she's able to wear the watch reasonably comfortably. This is the key issue, and one that really would put this issue to rest for most runners. Back to the operation of the watch itself, and the first thing you have to do when you get the watch out of the box is to charge it up. Now the manual says that it can charge up initially in 4 to 5 hours. In practice, it took me plugging the watch direct into the PC through the USB port 8 hours. However, subsequent charges only take from 2 to 3 hours. As already stated also, you can charge the watch directly through the AC adapter that is included with the device in the box. The Global Trainer's interface is simple and efficient, showing performance, multisport, navigation, review, configure and PC sync modes, all in a very clear and well labelled formation. What's also worth bearing in mind when we look at the watch here in these stills from my operation of the device is the clarity of the display. Now these pictures have been taken by a camera phone with a flash, and also obviously here you can see the night mode operation of the Global Trainer itself. The blue lighting illustrates the night mode feature. This feature can be set in various ways. You either turn the light on when you need it, you can turn the light on for the night mode feature whenever any button is pressed, or if you press the night mode button continuously for 8 seconds, you can even leave the display on permanently. This will last for up to 8 hours. I highly doubt whether people would want that, but let's say you're on a night run and you want to review your data instantaneously in the field, as it were, after a long trek or journey or hike or whatever, then this feature can turn out to be very useful. This feature I used during the review of this watch simply to show the difference in the quality of the display that you can get during the operation of various modes. I hope it is useful to you here. Certain reviewers have said, especially recently, that the Timex Global Trainer has bad GPS reception. I can assure you that having downloaded the latest firmware update today, this is emphatically not the case. In fact, I got a regular fix in an overcast sky within 10 to 30 seconds of my stepping out the door of my home, and that is absolutely not an issue that needs to be mentioned in any review. I hope these screenshots you can see there along with descriptions are useful to showing the formidable complexity and yet ease of use of this watch. This watch most definitely has a learning curve, but it will absolutely benefit you to do this, and then you can then compare it with the Garmin, the Polar and the Swim. So with this in mind, I found that I needed some kind of qualified assistance, so I decided to go to Irish Fit in Dublin. There have been numerous great Irish athletes in history. Here we see Stephen Roach, the victor of the 1987 Tour de France. Eamon Coghlan, nicknamed the chairman of the boards for his 1980s indoor track victories. John Tracy, the great marathon runner. And Katharina McKiernan, the London Marathon victor, who said in her autobiography she was very reliant on not only her coach's feedback but also that of her heart rate monitor watch. Here we see Maria McCambridge in the 2009 Adidas 10-mile race in the Phoenix Park, Dublin, with the Garmin Forerunner 305 prominently displayed. Having been initially a very good cyclist more than 25 years ago and now an enthusiastic runner, especially in the last few years, I'm starting to think about how these very prominent athletes view technology. In other words, whether they need it as much as a very good diet, let's say, or coaching advice, or a very good physical environment, as most definitely do the Kenyans and Ethiopians, as referred to in video 1, or whether they have a relationship with technology such that it's going to help them. And even a baby stroller. With this in mind, I felt confident about getting Sean McFadden to judge the watch.
Okay everyone, I'm here with Sean McFadden from irishfit.eu. How are you doing, Sean?
Very well.
And I feel the need to buy something that will help me running, something that will not so much inspire me as just show me what I'm doing, which will motivate me, measure everything that I'm doing now that I'm getting older, now that I'm over 45, and something which will basically give me feedback, so it will make me actually want to get up in the morning and see what I can do with it. So are you ready to see the latest model here from Timex, the Global Trainer? Yep, my new gadget there, Timex Global Trainer. There it is, ordered fresh from America. It's big, isn't it? Big and chunky.
Very big, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people like that because they can see the screen easier.
Yeah.
It's actually not too thick compared to
No,
the likes of
it's nice that it has a flat back, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's more like a actual watch shape, which is kind of nice.
Yes. I think the Garmin 405 overall, both, like you say, in terms of circumference as well as thickness. Sure. I think Garmin would you agree with me? Because you sell the stuff at your shop here in Carrick Mines. Yeah. The Garmin has focused very much on the usability.
Well, yeah, Garmin's are always very easy to use. You can simply hit a button and go pretty much already. You know.
Absolutely, yes.
For a lot of people, all they really want is to get speed, distance. Actually, the one downfall with the Forerunner 110 is that it doesn't have pace. It only gives you your average pace.
Integrates directly with an account from trainingpeaks.com where you sign up and essentially can not only upload your data but even set the watch through your own computer, a personal computer or a Macintosh, I believe.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
They also have a new soft, flexible chest strap as well, which is new too.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that Garmin hasn't come out with. Yes, and also they've got altitude ascent and descent rates, which is pretty cool too. There are very few watches that actually do that as well. I kind of like that.
Yes, it's got a flat back, like I say. They used to say this also about the Garmin 305, didn't they? Which is so big it's like wearing a bloody telephone kiosk on your wrist. And yet you strap it on. I've seen plenty of elite runners, but not racers.
Yeah, I like the 305 actually. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit thicker, but it's actually a little bit more narrower, I think. This just seems unusual because it's round and it's very... very big. Much of the actual features everybody uses maybe ranges from 50 to 90% of everything. There's not that many people that actually sit down and read the manual.
You've got an African runner, a housewife, and then me, who's kind of approaching middle age and I'm trying to get back into the sport. Who would benefit most from this watch?
well, stereotypically, probably a housewife would look at this and think, oh God, I don't even know where to start using it, and wouldn't read the instructions, and it would just sit on the table forever, until somebody set it up for them. But, for yourself, I'm sure that if you got this for Christmas, you think, whoa, I better start using this, and start training.
It is inspiring in that sense, isn't it? It's like going into a gym.
Actually use, For people, for a Kenyan who probably has never had any technology or never been used to lots of technology and computers and things like that, won't be linking it up to a computer probably to analyze the training afterwards. Probably won't know how to get the features out of it because they're used to just running. They might not get the full feature use out of it either.
Right.
I mean, they may use it for the speed and distance and the pace, but for them it might be just too much information.
It is too much information, exactly. No, only one thing left to do, Sean, that's to test it. Let's see if we can find a few mountains for you to get exhausted on, yeah? Okay. The heart rate's running as well. 55, not bad, guy. Bloody hell.
Running is easy once the watch is set up. You simply start and go. Basically, GPS fix takes maybe 30 seconds. Sean there is featured just jogging down the street from irishfit.com, based in Carrick Mines, south of Dublin there, and it's very convenient to have the watch work as tightly as it does. You simply clip the watch onto the supplied cable, connect it to your account, and then you log in, and then you're able to look at all these data here, which, as you can see, are very comprehensive, all automatic. No further configuration needed, and this further adds to the slickness of the watch, so it's well worth studying beforehand. The pros of the Timex Global Trainer are easy to state. You have a massive display, which I really love, and you have unique features including the hands-free stopwatch, direct integration with a computer for setting, as well as integration with trainingpeaks.com, and lastly pace and altitude smoothing, which is not available with any other running watch on the market. You have also expandability through the Ant Plus power meter, that's for cyclists. The customizability of the watch is outstanding. Going against the device, you have the size and the bulk, although you get used to this. The GUI could be a bit more slick, including especially the integration with the computer account, which can be fiddly to set up, and it would be nice to have a fitness test, as with the Polar RS800 and the Swinto T6D. But apart from that, it is genuinely an outstanding device, one which I highly recommend. It would be nice for my wish list to have downloadable workouts and a simpler configuration. Overall, this device is highly recommended, especially for people like myself who are getting back into the sport, who are serious about running and who want to improve themselves and get the relevant feedback. I hope that you've enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching.